Okay, speculators, let's fire up the VPT PTR Pro Trade Room. Thanks, Kirill. It is a Friday fun day edition, although I don't feel too fun. Reoccurring theme. I'm going to take better care of myself. Also streaming over on YouTube. I don't see it coming up yet, but it should just in a moment. So welcome to everybody over on YouTube. I titled today Passing 10 Apex Trader Funding Evaluations. So let's see if we can actually do that. We'll talk about that in just a little second. Yeah, I'm always seem to be starting the weekends the weekends early. Let me close this in just a moment because there's really no economic news this morning of any nature. So it's a light Friday. We're opening a little bit down. We'll take a look at that in just a bit, but no real economic information or news to look at. So what we do have going on is finally rates are coming in a little bit. The ZB getting some relief. I took off the short 107.5 put. In that other account, so I don't really have any exposure to that. It would have been really profitable had I held it. So everything down just 25 bips change from close. ATRs are holding in there, 66 for the ES. Just a moment here. I just want to make sure this is working. There we go. Yeah, okay. And I'll come over here and mute this just so I can see. Just want to make sure that I can see the chat over there. There we go. All right, cool. All right, so we have markets down a little bit, but unfortunately not enough volatility to really do anything. Again, rates down slightly. Crude oil's higher. Gold is approaching 2,000. I puked it out $70 lower, as I've joked about a little bit. Okay, so here's the problem with this morning. Not really a problem, just the situational fluency and awareness that we want to have. Before I get going on that, let me just show you what the objective is of today, but only if the markets present themselves, and it might not happen here in the morning. But I have 5 of these Apex accounts here that are within about $100 of passing, so we should probably be able to pass all of those. We'll try to record it live here on the stream. And then over here, this is a different connection. You're not supposed to do that. Don't do that, okay? I'm not going to fund both these groups of accounts. But this is Ninja and this is Tradeovate, and these are 2 different cohorts or groups, and these are also about 26. I have 10 of them over here, and a couple of them are within striking distance. So we'll see what happens there. Let me see here. We got probably one quick second. 39, yeah. So let's just go ahead and take this off. There we go. So we'll cover that there. Start with a little bit of green on the screen. Okay. Back over to the S&P. This is not good, 22-point range, right? So your vol band here is not one that is going to be too informative, although the good news is it's pretty flat. It just doesn't have quite enough range. So you want to take a little shot at overnight lows. I ain't mad at you. I mean, it's clearly been a little bit of a bearish last couple days. But last Friday, we actually saw a weak Friday for the first time in a while. So I would say that the Friday fun day positive skew has diminished, at least for now. But the relief today could potentially be that these treasuries stay a little bit. If the treasuries stay a little bit, I think it could be decent for the markets going into the weekend. None of that matters. We're just going to trade the strategy. And the strategy here on the range trader is telling us that we need to wait for a break above close back inside range for our original entry. Or you could do the kind of made up, which is 6 ticks or 2 points below the prior session low. Current session low, which would be come in around, let's just call it 42.80s. That's 3 points, somewhere in there. Other than that, it's just a wait and see. Obviously, if we end up breaking above this narrow Indian arrow, there's not a whole lot of muscle memory yesterday that prevents us from getting up to what would be your target, which would be prior sessions VPOC 43.30, and also your first short. If you want to short, you could short there at 43.30. You have no shorts in the range trader here. Okay, no shorts in the range trader. Doesn't mean you can't get short. Doesn't mean you can't sell VWAP here if you want. Doesn't mean you can't sell the plus 2s at 4,300. Just says the range trader is telling you narrow range, no short. Okay, so that's what we got going on there. Let's see here. All right. Dow Jones is a bear continuation pattern outside day down. 156, also not enough range to really start doing anything. Look is the same as the S&P. Yada, yada, you know my drill on the Dow. If you don't know my drill, you're watching over on YouTube. The Dow is your superpower. If you are the S word, struggling. It's always struggling, blowing up, constantly frustrated, can't seem to get through these programs, not trading well on your own in your live account. Every time you put a trade on, it's butthole pucker time. Look to trade the Dow for a little while, and specifically the micro, the MYM. It's 50 cents per point, a lot more manageable, and it can be your friend. It's going to produce a lot less alpha for you overall because it has less beta than the other indices, but it's going to be a lot easier to handle. So I'd look to be trading the Dow today as opposed to the S&P if you had to choose one, right? So if you had to choose one. Now let's get to your crazy ex-girlfriend, which is, well, the Russell's more so. The NASDAQ, pretty narrow range for the NASDAQ. Again, remember our ATR on the NASDAQ is coming in at 273s. Let's just round it up 275. And we've only put in a 91-point range. So the NASDAQ is not going to just put in a 100 or 150-point range today. So which direction, who knows? This is not that significant. I barely ever do this. I don't really care that much, but you can note that, this was a slightly higher low in the overnight. So slightly higher low. We could not get, the sellers couldn't quite get us below 14.8. And I am still short. I've rolled the puts all over the place. Yesterday was a pretty, by the way, check out that. If you didn't see it, the new Acorns to oak trees, screwing around with some images. I like them all. They're all kind of cool. Dolly did this. ChatGPT through Dolly. Like literally, I didn't draw this shit. Okay. Where do I want to be? Oh, and options. This will be probably a little hard to see, but for a $5,000 starting account, that's a pretty good dang day, especially making about 381 on the underlying while I was short 14.8s, 14.9s, and 15,000s all in the same day. So you got to dance between the raindrops and time those things a little bit today. But I ain't mad at you if you get weak, you want to sell the 0 days to expiration 14.8s today. Let's take a look at what those are selling for. The 14.8s are 45. Not bad. 45. You get paid $90 to get long at 14.8, 0 days to expiration. So have at it. I think I saw on Discord that some of you are still on the 14.9s or 15,000, so you're going to have an assignment, obviously. But if you don't want to get assigned and we pop anywhere close to that strike, just short the underlying, and then you won't get assigned. But of course, if it rocketed 300 points higher today, then you're going to be short and losing money and not making it back on the premium that you gain from the in the money put. All right. Now let's take a look at, so the NASDAQ is nothing doing here either. Not a very interesting range. I have been trading it a little bit here this morning because it will likely act pretty wild right off the open given how subdued it has been in the overnight session. And I'm looking for a double symmetrical test of 14.8. If we get that 14.8, I probably will. So those 0 day to expiration, I'll do them with you guys. Russell, also boring. If you'd ever wanted to know that it's all random, it's, remembering this pop and then drop. I mean, look at this day, that morning, just boom, boom, boom. Who knows? It's hard to identify the action in the Russell. Could be a regional bank story or something that day. Maybe GameStop. Who knows? 2,000 stocks in that index. About 30% of them don't even make any money. So what are you going to do with these small caps there? But at least they're the first ones to break back inside range. Crude oil today is in a bull continuation pattern inside day, though barely. Nice separation from the T-line. I would not be necessarily messing around with some shorts here. Oh, that's a nice move. I'll take it. I got to take this error off here. There we go. Look at that. Bad boy. Okay. What's the word I was looking for? What was I doing? Oh, crude oil. So we're at crude oil. I don't know. You could short prior session highs 89.53. Other than that, your first buy or long on the range trader is down at 86.65. Prior sessions VPOC, which would get you right into this upward sloping T line. So this is sort of just a wait and see market for me. Just hanging out way up there. obviously constant conflict and concerns about what's happening in the Middle East. And then gold, I am trying to catch another session high. It'll be around 1997. Probably a foregone conclusion that someone tries to take a shot and see if they can break it out of break it out of the 2000 level, but so far it has not been the case. Am I trading options on Apex? No. You can't trade options on any of the prop programs, unfortunately. So there are no options on any of those prop programs. No. So I'm trading them I'll drop a link to a couple places you can do it, and then also look at this. Speaking of ChatGPT, now I just need to make this thing go a little faster. Market's going to open up in one more minute. I will look at the treasuries in just a second, but over here on the blog, we have now 2 articles. Let me drop them in here. Members, they're in Discord. So here's the 5 best brokers for trading futures options. Whoops, that didn't work. There we go. And then we have another one here, which is just about options on futures. I don't know why it's putting that quid on there. There we go. And then for those of you guys over here in the chat, make sure you read that. Go over to my blog. When does assignment for those happen? If they're in the money, they get assigned essentially at 4 o'clock and 20 seconds. So like 4 o'clock and 20 seconds. So you'll have them for the additional hour of trading. All right, ding, 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 here we go. Ding, 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 here we go. I'm going to get some orders in here just to, again, buy these lows if it's an anemic pop, which it could be. I don't know what happened there. Ken, if you're just tuning in, plan is to take some trades to qualify for all of these. They're all within about $100. So we're gonna have to just wait a little while. Remember, we want to put into practice what our pre-market routine told us, which was sit on our hands a little bit for. Did anyone catch the +2 touch? I mean, it happens so fast. That's how things happen. So from 871 straight down to 820s. Yeah, yesterday was just the dumbest but funnest thing, right? I mean, Powell's just sitting there talking. There's nothing else going on. And the markets are just acting like a whole bunch of new news just came into the market. Lots of vol in the treasuries. Velocity just moving, not really vol expansion. And then the NASDAQ was just acting. It was so great. It was having 50, 60 point moves in a minute. Less. All right, I'm going to buy this bid zone here on the NASDAQ. I don't have the replicator on in here yet because I want to be selective and trade only accounts that are close to qualifying. Yeah, that was a rare 3 or 4 hours of trading, man. It was wild and fun. Wild in the streets. Wearing my BK shirt today. Beloit Kombucha, baby. Talk to Brad. You decide to become a member of the room. You get yourself 10 sticks of Beloit Kombucha. Oh, the Dow just went break even on this trade right here, so I'm gonna take one right there at break even, and then now, so we have our break above, close above. There's a lot of time left in this candle, but we'll see what happens there. So as you can see, that position was a little underwater. I was long from about the 5, whatever that is. I had a 3 lot on. I took a graceful exit this morning on a little bit of pop off the lows because we were down 150 points lower, threatening about 33.4s. Come on, give us a little VWAP touch. There we go. We'll take it. All right, S&P. I mean, these ranges are. I can make this look a little bit better. Let's make it look a little bit. Let's go like this, so it looks a little more dramatic. I need your touch. Ooh, that's dirty. Uh-oh. Now you know the song that comes whenever I hear touch. What is it? Sing it with me. Sometimes when we touch, the honesty's too much. I mean, I can't believe that this is all included. It's all included. Let's see if we can hit plus ones here. Plus ones, plus ones. I don't want the NASDAQ to go higher. I need it to break below 800 so we can sell some puts in there. Well, here's the good news. The ZB is somehow, I don't know how, up 25 ticks. I don't know how that's possible. say it isn't so.
Order submitted.
You guys want to get crazy and short the plus ones? I don't know. Probably not my bag.
Order filled.
God, you gotta love it. There you go. Dow, bounce all around. Bounce with me. Bounce with me. Bounce with me.
Order submitted. Order submitted. Order submitted. Order filled.
Those aren't on the screen. Those are automated orders that are happening elsewhere. Now I have a 510 pairs trade that's I'm going to get screwed. Watch the 5-year outperform here today, the short end. All right, back in some Dow. See if we can trade this whole little range. NASDAQ up to +2s again. You guys all know this, but we don't just do something for the sake of doing something. So let it come to butthead.
Order submitted.
It's going to come to butthead all naturally and stuff. Come on, Dow. Hit it.
Order filled.
Boom. There we go. Let's rinse and repeat. Come back down to it. Is there anything significant about 474s over here? 474s. No. -1 is 462s. Basically kind of buying in that VWAP range. So that's buying a pullback to VWAP. Not too bad. Well, it ain't looking like we're going to get a 800s right now. It's early, though. Yeah, there's just nothing to do here. I'm going to add a long here.
Order submitted. Order filled. Order submitted.
One thing that's nice is this NASDAQ is not disappointing in terms of its movement. It's swift. All right, 400s. That's where we'll do our first one over here. Man, that would be a new low, actually. Oh, we need a multiple of 5. That's right, I changed this. Just got these 5 that we're looking to qualify for. Gold, we're out of business. Crude oil, this is kind of critical here. We lose this sort of overnight action. It could break lower significantly, so just kind of watch that if you got any longs going on. And other than that, got a really nice Indian arrow that we're working here on the S&P. Look at this thing. So much, much better to be buying the low end of it than trying to short here, but, you know, it could hold for a while if we just stay in range for a little bit. Yeah, I'm not feeling like talking a whole lot today. I mean, we'll talk when something comes up. But if you have any questions, are you holding Dow long at +2s? I have the Dow in a couple accounts from earlier in the day. So not the +2s. I just have them already. So you see, I'm going to add it to set basically session lows and then back it to VPOC there.
Order fulfilled. Order submitted.
NASDAQ couldn't quite get to VWAP again. Anyone over there on YouTube, if you want to find out a little bit more about what we do here, there is 2 links in the description. You can grab my free Futures Fanatic Foundation Course. It's a 30-video course. It's really good for beginners. Covers everything in terms of especially how the micros are constructed. Brief overview of some of the strategies here, including a strategy we really don't trade anymore. And then also, if you wanted to come back for the next couple weeks, you can join the trade room for 2 weeks for $10. It's no automatic up rebill or anything like that. So just come on in, check it out. You could, if you had the time, you could probably determine very quickly whether what we're doing here, which is we do things a little differently, or hopefully we're doing the Acorns to oak trees method, baby. That means that we're looking to pass the lowest dollar amount notional and profit objective prop programs, multiple ones of them, using micros so we can turn them into little ATMs and cash machines. Can you make more money if you sling around minis in some of the bigger accounts where you're still way overcapitalized? Way undercapitalized and overleveraged? Sure, have at it. You won't last. You're lucky if you take a few withdrawals. That'll be it. Or you might pay 30 grand to eventually withdraw 30 grand, but that's not a really good business proposition. So Acorns Stoke Trees is about using the micros. It's about trading at high probability turning points. It's about keeping your emotional capital score low so you can stream and trade when you kind of feel like crap, which I feel like crap too often these days. But yeah, I'm just not, the Vegas is creeping in a little too much right now. An S wave in the ZN. I don't know what that means, but as long as it's going higher, which it is, I'm a happy man. S wave. I'm trading this NASDAQ here off screen, and I got to tell you, it's pretty nice. It just pops and drops and drops and pops. I'm going to get me a little Russell if it gets weak again. You don't have to. Friends don't let friends trade the Russell. Gold popping a little bit. Crude oil held that a little break of, so we kind of came down here and scared the children, but only for about 20 ticks.
Order filled. Order submitted.
All right. Well, eventually we're going to have to find a trade over here. I need to see if I can go into the studio here. The studio. Update this to a better thing while we're doing it. I want to go over here and there we go.
Order filled.
That's how we put the thumbnail on there. All right. I'm going to Yeah, there we go. Get that on there. Probably make it a little bit more interesting. $36 people watching. I'm popular. I want to be popular. All right, so the Dow came down, gave us how come we didn't get a fill at 374? Probably because it didn't touch 374. All right, Nazi, let's head south.
Order filled.
All right, bought a little M2K so that you don't have to. Can't see that working out. Welcome to another episode of Self-Deprecating Rod. All right. Is that all the buyers got for right now? Is that all you got? I'm going to take this down to 400. It's just a dumb round number. It's the same. I can track it here because that's where I'll get long over there on Trade of 8. Oak Tree Monday. That's going to have a turnaround Monday or Tuesday. We'll see. I like to be wrong all the time, given that this is the first time that we've seen any kind of relief in the treasuries, and yet the stocks are all still lower.
Order filled. Order filled.
Do 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 do. Look at that Nazi, right to VWAP, then a little pop. How do I heart Boomer's comment? I think I just hit the heart button. 100%. There you go. Yeah, hit all those things on YouTube that causes it to put little hearts all over the place. I'm the haggard man. Ooh. Oh, there you go. Now I see little hearts coming out. Oh my goodness. All the love. Problem is I can't drink any caffeine right now. Well, I could, but I'm trying the no caffeine thing, so I got this decaf Americano. Oh, I don't know. It just doesn't do it. Decaf is like the condom of coffee. Kind of good, but not the same. It does suck. Well, I'm not sure anyone's making a whole lot, but this is not a day where you should be down, like, at all. So, I mean, the ranges have held pretty nicely. Sellers are trying to get some traction, but they just can't do it. Can't do it. Oh, I'm short gold now. Oh, look at that. Can't see that working out. All right, to the pain. Yeah, I'm gonna be off the desk for a second. I gotta go get some aspirin or some Tylenol. Take the red pill or the green pill or both pills.
Order filled. Order filled.
All right. NASDAQ down to 830s. Minus ones. Gold hit the 2000s. How much are they going to, what are they going to do? What are they going to do? What you going to do?
Order filled.
Let's watch the Dow here. Look at that touch of the minus ones, like for a heartbeat there. And then it's like, thank you, sir. May I have another? Another rally right back up.
Order submitted.
Right back up. I mean, it's like I have to take one here.
Order filled.
There we go.
Order submitted.
What do you know? I'm losing money on gold. What a surprise. Solar Edge getting hammered. High rates. No one financing their solar. Crude oil right back up. Crude and gold moving higher.
Order submitted. Order filled.
All right. Let me make sure I'm not missing any questions over here. Fire them off. See how I can answer a question today. That ought to be hilarious. All right. No questions on YouTube. Good. You guys behave yourself. And let's see here. Yeah, instead of psychological, we could call it a philosophical level. Does that price exist? Would that be the price if it wasn't the price? Don't call me at 7 a.m. Yes, to be or not to be, that is the price. Daz 1975. Make sure you put a question mark at the end. I happen to be looking at it. Turn it blue so I can. But the question is, have you ever had a day running VWAP bands? Well, you wrote all that, then put a question mark on it. Yeah, I mean, occasionally I have 100% days. I can't say that they're always VWAP or bands trades, but every once in a while I throw in a 100% day. That's generally 100% entry to exit, though, so might scale around. A position could be down for a little bit, but the overall position ends up being profitable without taking any heat. Yeah, I'd hope everyone would think it would take some time. I mean, but really all you're doing is overlaying the session volatility with the bands if you're just going to trade stay in your lane. And then other than that, I do think sometimes it's a little silly. Like I teach you the strategy in 5 seconds. Buy the bottom of the bid zone, sell the top of the offer zone, and then manage risk accordingly. In terms of your entries, right? So, I'm long the a little bit more M2K now. Yeah, the situational fluency takes some time. Yeah. But that's what should, because everyone's trying to teach you that things can be black and white, or that you can use some sort of like fixed risk. Trade this strategy and risk 20 ticks in crude oil to make 40, or come into the market and identify where you have good risk reward ratios.
Order filled. Order filled.
All right. Long the Dow Jones. Let's see if it falls apart here. I fall apart. Get our first little bounce. How conservative are we going to be with this trade? Seeing as we're trying to just make $100. Oh, 400. Now I'm going to do our new lows. This is silly. Don't do this. It's just this thing's going to make a new low. Or maybe we caught the absolute bottom. There we go. We lost 54 cents. Now we'll look for 33.80s or just some sort of new low in there. Gold moving higher.
Order filled.
NASDAQ just touching minus ones again. We're rooting for 800s. We need some 800s so that we can, let's see here. This has been stuck right there at 48. I'm trying to get 60. See how I'm resting in order for 60? Give me 60. So Mark's asking about the speed relative to reaction to price. No, it's just random. I mean, you might fool yourself sometimes and go, oh, there's responsive buyers there. But remember, the market is just hundreds, if not thousands, of algorithms just banging into each other all day long. And the vast majority of them are not even speculating for direction. They're just hedging things for larger portfolios. I mean, again, no one's hedging anything in the MNQ, so that's why. And the MNQ is reflects these larger stocks, so they can, a little bit of buying thing or flush, coordinated selling, basket selling, whatever you want to call it. All of a sudden orders come in to sell all of the mighty 7 at the same time. It creates this little, but it's all random. Yeah, don't look for any kind of All right. I hate to tell you guys, unless this kicks in, I'm probably not going to be able to make it much more than until 7:30. So, ask your questions now. It'll be a short Friday. I need to go lay down. My stream is going to end up being clickbait. Said you were going to pass these things, man. Well, I didn't anticipate how I felt. But we still got time. It could happen. It could happen. Look, we almost got a fill at 80s. Now we need a new low. I like a new low by like 15 ticks. So maybe 33.60s. We're just going to make shameless content about it. Oh, there you go. There's a touch. I've probably got a fill here. Where are we at 60 yet? 53s. 53s. Oh, I got filled. They didn't even adjust. Look at that. So I got filled. Short the 14.8s. All right, now it's time for the market just to collapse. I'm in on my short puts. Let's see if we can just fall apart here. Yeah, I got to cancel these over here because I don't feel good. I don't even know if I can manage anything. So here we go. Let's just exit this. All right. NASDAQ could be a quick pass, but new lows, new lows. What are they selling? They selling everything? Yeah, Apple, Microsoft. At least Nvidia's now down 5%. Tesla's not had a good couple days. So called it a little bit today. Could have been either direction, but we're still only 105 points here. So just 105 points. So the accounts that I'm long in here, by the way, are not the prop accounts. So the prop accounts just have this fun stuff in it. It's actually a good learning session, given the fact that the most of the positions that I'm in are negative. You can just sort of see. So there's no ads here on the NASDAQ. It's very important. We're outside the range, which was very easy to get outside the range, given the fact that there was not a whole lot of overnight volume. So now the sellers are exerting themselves. We're outside day up on gold, so that sky's the limit there. So you just have to control this stuff with risk, and for now, my positioning is such that I go into sort of graceful exit mode, just look to control risk as best I can.
Order submitted.
Oh. Okay. Can't add any more there.
Order submitted.
It's like, you are out of money, dude. That account only has like $9,000 in it, so. Oh, middle $3,000 swing over here. So you know what's interesting about this morning, given the way I feel, is that a lot of the time I will hear, and this just has to do with absolutely with experience and situational fluency. So for what I'm doing here in these prop programs, I'm confident enough that I'm not making any worse decisions or doing anything dumb or. But that's not the case with everybody. Sometimes you're distracted or you don't feel good or something's happened with the family or in your personal life and all that. And we know that those are certainly times in which you might be more susceptible to not performing well. And that's not just trading. That's anything, right? That's anything. I'm not, better than anybody else psychologically. I've just been doing this mechanically for a lot longer that I'm not going to make mistakes. I'm not going to make mistakes here. So hopefully you guys kind of understand that. But you need to know yourself, right? There'll be times in which, you should really not be, I don't know what happened here. There's a couple that are long. There we go. All right. So I'm just going to do a graceful exit on these.
Order filled. Order filled.
Yeah. And how did gold get what happened with gold? Jesus. That's a gift. Goodbye. I'll take it. So somehow gold just reversed. So gracefully exit that. This long MES ain't going well. All right, I'm going to buy these 780s if they hit again.
Order submitted.
God dang it. All right. I got it. I understand. Let's remove these. All right. I guess I got to remove them from everything. All right, those are fine. And how about these? Let's turn that one off. There we go.
Order submit. Order filled. Order filled. Order filled.
All right, let's see what happens here. There's not a lot of conviction to this selling, but selling is selling, so it doesn't really matter.
Order submitted. Order filled.
All right, we got some new lows coming. New lows. Maybe we'll make some new lows. So really, this should be. I don't know how that popped. I don't think that's actually profitable.
Order filled.
Hmm.
Order submitted.
Let's see here. Hi, Rod. I lost so much this weekend after big gains, so now I'm in a tight margin threshold of 150. What should I do? You should do that all the time. So do you have a daily risk budget? You need to establish a daily risk budget and stick to that daily risk budget. There is a definite correlation. I've done it. Everyone's done it. Some of your largest losing days will follow some of your biggest winning days. So you have to establish a daily risk budget, and you have to size your trades and your entry criteria in a way in which you can manage and navigate within that risk budget. Next question, how do you determine when to stay out of the range trader strategy? Yeah, this is the question that comes up all the time, which is the very recency bias of the market makes a move and breaks out of a range, and then everyone wants to understand if there's a way to stay out of that. Well, there's one way, and the way that you can is if there's an extreme turn printing, but I don't think we have any extreme turns here. So the extreme turn can indicate shit, this is going to try to log me in. God damn it. I knew it was going to do that. Okay. So we could look for an extreme turn here, and if we had an extreme turn and the bar was printing multiple times, that would be an indication to no longer continue to look to buy that. Now, today we have an outside day down. I don't care that it's a Friday. There's a little bit of an aspect to not wanting to get yourself in too much of a negative position on a Friday. But if we had an extreme turn, that could be one potential signal. If not, there's no real determination. In fact, the further we go down, the more mean reversion looks likely, or it'll be an easier trade to handle. Now, the important thing is depending on your position and your sizing, there are no more ads here. You can't continue to campaign around this losing position. We're outside the range, which was a narrow range. Another thing you can do is our rule of projection. So there's a lot of different things you can do to potentially look. What's the ROP over in the room, gang? What's the ROP on the Dow today? Give me the ROP to the downside so we can just post it over there. Do I like all those hearts on YouTube? I'm not seeing. Are there hearts on YouTube? No. But as you'll often hear me, now I have a Graceful exit opportunity here, which I'll take. Okay. Just want to. I got disconnected from. Oh, yeah. Now I want to reconnect. So another thing, remember, okay, the rule of projection low is 360s. Okay, so it's 360s. So we're already there. Doesn't necessarily give me a whole lot more confidence. Another new low in the NASDAQ. I would much rather be short 14,800 puts for $120 credit than be long here, the NASDAQ. But essentially, they'll work out to be the same thing. So Ross B, I hopefully you understand. It all starts with risk. So rather than trying to interpret anything that you see in the market that would operate as a filter, I can't do it. No one can do it. There's indications that we can potentially use, but really what we have at our disposal is entry logic and sizing and risk. Because then all the moves in between are going to be random. Are both charts 30 minutes? No, the chart on the right that you see is a modified Renko. We call it a Brickwick. You can learn more about it over on our website. It's free from there's a couple different places you can get it free on Ninja. So it's tick based. So there's no time. And the bar patterns themselves have some tradability, but we don't really talk about that much. And the chart on the left is just a standard 30-minute chart, and that is that chart is just has the volume profile applied, and the one on the left we call the range trader, and the one on the right we call stay in your lane. I don't know what's going on here. It won't connect. Should have never brought up TradingView. TradingView just tries to grab the connection anytime you're ever connected. Welcome to the Russell, which sucks ass.
Order filled. Order submitted. Order filled. Order filled. Order submit. Order filled.
Mm. I feel like I'm picking my nose a lot today. Is that noticeable? I have to remember that I have my camera on over there. If you guys want to see, I don't think anyone wants to see me the way I feel right now, but guys in the room, you can go over on YouTuber. Let me see, can I turn on the, can I turn on the same camera? I don't think so. Start, stop webcam over here. All right, gold back up. Let's tempt fate. So there is an area here. It can just be like a new high. So I don't know. I'll just sell 205 spot 1. 205s. Sellers got the ball right now. They need to fry some toads. Let's see what happens at the open of our 9:30 Central candle. God, I need the ZN to close above 106, or I'm going to have some more. Give me more. I'd like some more ZN, please. I don't want any more ZN. No more ZN for me.
Order canceled. Order submitted.
All right, let's make sure these are all in the same shape that I think they're in. No, let's make that one a little better. Ooh, let's make this one a little better. Let's make this one a little better. I'm being a bad boy here a little bit, but that's okay. These ads are supposed to be at new lows, which we just hit. So there we go. Now we're at the new lows. More cowbell. All right. So this is a new low entry opportunity here. Dow, NASDAQ. This needs to be 5. All right. 42.65s. It's a nice 3-point new low. See what happens.
Order filled. Order filled.
Make sure you push the buttons. The rooks, you stop out if it gets ugly. Just have to stop out. ZN's still holding the top end of its range, relatively speaking. They're hammering everything. When United Healthcare is not up, Dow can't do much. Check out what our 14/8s are selling for. $86. $86. $730 buy limit. I like it. That's a new low. Just try to catch these new lows. You can manage new lows with the MNQ on very small size. It's not that difficult. The challenge still is that we're still only at 149 ATR. So we got some problems here. Do we see 14.6s, 14.550s? All of it's in the cards today. The ROP is probably well in. Yeah, the ROP is in for the day. 15,045 down to where we're trading. So you mean, because remember we fell apart yesterday too. So that's another thing about day part, right? Is there's a lot of people that are only going to be able to trade certain parts of the day. So you feel like you need to get involved in all those kinds of things. But if you have other times where you can watch markets a little bit more, like yesterday was an all-day trading day. Do we think Powell was going to create that much velocity? Who knows, but it happened. You know, even retail sales in the morning move things around a little bit. So anything can happen. He knows the aerodynamics of the cliff. All right. So what we got to do here is cover a few of these.
Order submitted.
I hate when that happens.
Order filled. Order filled.
Because we're going to get more.
Order filled.
More.
Order filled.
Go Dow. Can be less shitty.
Order submitted.
So these are called graceful exits, gang. Anytime you get a move
Order submitted.
somewhat off the recent lows, I really should just do them as sell bids, but
Order filled.
there we go. All right. So we're cutting back in here. This is the Acorns to Oak Trees method, traded by a super hungover guy. Just controlling risk. Someone said that they were going to look to buy the 730s. Now, as I come out of that, new lows are actually valid entries to re-enter back in here. because we're keeping all of our risk aligned except for this fucking account. Woo! This had started with $5,000, so it's not having a good day. See, you think we can day trade this 14,008s? We get a little pop in the next hour back in the money. Those things are gonna decay pretty quick. We need a decent pop here though. Go Dow. Go Dow. All right, I'm gonna take the Dow on a few of these accounts. All right, look at the M2K. How did we make money on the M2K? It's a miracle. I don't think we made any money here, though. No, look, we're still down. Down. Just had some good ads there. Yeah. We're back in the red here. NASDAQ came back down. Got no pop at all from the MES. Mr. Blutowski has no grade point average. I'll get on the 730s with whoever that was. Let's do it. I think it was Juan. Let's get on the 730s. So Patrick's asking a very long question. Does anyone want to answer that? Should I be happy with a scratch or this and that? You have so here's the thing, everybody. The market is outside day down. Depends on what your entry logic was. If your entry logic was off the range trader, it's an outside day down. We've established a low. Could go break that low again. You know, this candle's got a lot of time left in it. It was a slightly higher low. It was at S1. I don't care that much about that. So the answer is always it depends. If you are able to, you know, cut it at a lower price at your max loss and that doesn't affect you, then I'd be holding it. You can see what I'm doing here. But I don't have any issues with anyone running a tight sell stop and looking to re-enter at another low. Obviously, if it never makes another low, you don't have any inventory for a reversal. How much time do you have left in your trading session? If you can trade all day, probably want to favor holding. Yeah, so I mean that's the bottom line. Your risk is your risk, and then there's targets. So do whatever you want. I'm not making light of it. These are good questions. It's just I'm trying to simplify. I think we're all in our heads way too much. This is really, really simple. It really is simple. I know it might not feel yet like it's simple yet, but it's pretty simple. We're going to get a 42.65 fill over here. 65, 65. All right, I think I might make it till 8. The Tylenol kicked in. What's the opposite of graceful? Clumsy. Clumsy. We'll go with clumsy. Here we go. New lows. New lows incoming. Why do the new lows happen in that sort of burst? Well, because there's a lot of stops at the lows, right? So people are stopping out at lows of day when you should be looking to enter at lows or highs of day by a few ticks. Why does it always seem to hit my stop in reverse? Because you're a moron. Because you don't know how to trade. That's why. You're not a moron. But you don't know how to trade. You certainly don't have a strategy that... Why does every time it goes the other direction? Because you don't know where to enter. You don't have a sense of high probability areas in the market. Every time I get in, I get out too early. Well, because you don't wait till the target. The target's right there. And guess what's great is the target's right there. You don't have to calculate anything. You don't have to go, I need 1R or 2R or all that stuff. And there's traders that I respect that still believe in all that. I think they're fooling themselves. What they're really doing is they're just very knowledgeable about how to handle risk and good entries, and then they're making up those targets. Because the vast majority of time when I watch traders like that, they're not hitting those targets. So the 2-to-1, 3-to-1 is bullshit. All they're doing is entering at decent prices, and more often than not, catching a piece of the move in the direction they're looking for, whether that's a breakout or mean reversion or whatever. But you heard it here first, and I'm the best ever. Risk-reward ratios are fucking nonsense. They're total nonsense. They're as stupid as price targets that analysts provide. All right, so Ocean Grown, there we go. Nice day. Let's look at that. Let's download that image. I'm going to download that shit. Put it right up here so that people on YouTube can see. This is Acorns to Oak Trees, baby. That's Acorns to Oak Trees. You see that? Some PA accounts. Over there on YouTube or even here in our trade room, give me a 1 in the chat if you'd be damn ass happy with that. And you should be. Look at that. I'm not good at math, but I think that's about $1,000, and it's about $400 and something of real money. And I can't speak for him, but I would also suggest that probably not a lot of stress in getting to that figure. You know, a little bit of stress now if you're long any of these markets that are continuing to push lower. Just have to fight through it. The most important thing is there's no ads. The only ads that you have here to, improve your cost basis are new lows. And if you're doing that, you better damn well have the risk budget to allow yourself to do that. Otherwise, you're just doing it wrong and you're adding to losers and you're hoping and praying that there's a reversal day when it could be it could trend down and move lower for the next couple hours. And then in the final hour and a half or at 11:30 or when a gnat farts somewhere in Arizona, it can just reverse hard. Any of those scenarios are possible. Anyway, congratulations, man. Killer day. Please post that to Discord when you get a chance. And even though I'm going through the trouble of qualifying for these accounts so that we can have fun and put a PA in front of it, I don't care about that. What I care about is what you just saw. It's other people that have a PA in front of their name, or they don't have to have a PA in front of their name. They just they're showing account balances that are slow and steady, acorns to oak trees, growing properly. Christopher, I just passed an Apex eval, first one I ever passed. Awesome. Well, you passed it, and there's a new low in the S&P and a new low in the NASDAQ. So Christopher's saying, just passed at Apex 25, first one I took and passed. I feel relieved. That's great. But the other thing that's great about it is if you did it kind of the TDG way, you don't have to have the butthole pucker time when it has a PA in front of it. You just do the exact same thing. Well, might it feel a little bit different? Yeah, but it shouldn't feel that much different. I'll tell you how it'll feel real different is if you pass things slinging around 2-3 NASDAQ, 2-3 S&P, your P&L is up 700, then down 900, then up 2,000, then down, then you have one day you have a 4 lot on and you pass the thing. All right. You have a 0% chance of ever taking a payout if that's how you passed it. I don't care what your strategy is. 0%. Because you passed it in a way in which you're just wildly over-levered. All right. I like that I'm streaming on a day in which it's not working out. Streaming on a day when it's not working out. Ooh, that's a terrible melody. Don't try to set any music to that melody. That's not a good melody. If the Dow goes down there and scares the kids, then we got some problems. We already got some problems, but if the Dow goes down there and scares some kids, you guys know that all that matters today is if the ZN closes above 106. All of this is just it's just a carnival game. We need the ZN to close above 106. Can everyone put in a little happy dance for that, please?
Order canceled.
Little happy dance for for 106. People are like tuning out now. Why did he just put a 10-year chart up there? I don't want to see that. Look at them sit on the bid at 305s. Sorry, on the ask. They're sitting on the offer, just sitting there. Oh. So now all we have is the same thing. We have to buy a new low, 42.60s. So don't learn from me. Learn from guys in our room that put up $125, not the guy that made 33 or is down a couple hundred in these accounts. Once there was a way. This is some nice selling in the. I'm going to add here at, because we're making some new lows, and the 14.8. I can get 100 for them. Boom. I'm gonna do these at. Let's see, one limit, 107. All right, fine. Think we can get 107. I'm not very smart. Let's say it was 100. That should get my cost basis up to about 75, right? All right, it's going to turn out to be clickbait. We are not going to pass these, at least not while the stream is going on. Not while the stream is going on. Let's do our P&L and EC scores over there on, there's Dan. That's nice. Just traded in a few accounts there. An R7. Oh, that's not good. Why are you so stressed, man? Become a member. Just come in here and feel my zen. One way to be less stressed is take 3 Tylenol and 3 Advil. At least it'll make your headache go away. Go, Dow. Some of the best trades are a little uncomfortable. Oh, I like that. I like that. I like that a little bit. All right, I am going to run a sell stop here now, giving me the opportunity to rebuy the lows. And then I do not want to forget and be short. So see if go Dow. Come on, Dow. B, less sucky. B, less sucky. All right, we're going to sell this here. Turn that frown around. Got a lot of NASDAQ earnings next week. So what I'm looking, let's see if I get a fill at 107s. Drop down to 95. So we need another drop. Give me a drop. All right. Stopped out there. So now you can look at it underwater here. It's NASDAQ, not good. Oh, shit. Whoops. Didn't realize that I didn't have any left in those accounts. Here comes a NASDAQ back down. All right, let's get a few more. What do we do here? We got, did I get 730s? Oh, yeah. I'm well long at 730s. The market's at 708s. I got some 730s. Got your 730 hanging. Need this frickin' ZF to come in a little bit. All right. These are new lows. We're gonna throw caution to the wind. And buy 700s. Made up level. Oop, I need a multiple of 5. Multiple of 5. Buy 700. That'll give me, if we get a fill there, that will give me 5 more minutes to pass some of these accounts. All right, here's our look on the S&P. Not great, just a single lot. All the single ladies. Hey, and if you got some signals to get short and you're still pushing for lower levels, I ain't mad at you. Just know that we're at the ROP kind of lows. So just like I'm looking to pick up every new low, I'm not looking to do it anymore because I don't have any inventory available to do that. All right, somebody in the chat explain what ROP is. Someone hasn't watched the workshop. Someone hasn't watched the workshop. I come over here, live trading. There's 300 people watching this other schmuck. I shouldn't say anything disparaging about anybody else. Anyway, let's make sure that we're aware of the greatest free resource in the history of YouTube. Right here. What happened? It went away. All right. So we're going to grab this. I already have it up there. Look at the, it's a TDG Way workshop. Why am I doing that? I'm just doing it for people over on YouTube. Let me grab it for people on YouTube. If you replay the, so here is, we go through the ROP, rule of projection, right there. All right, then everybody watch this workshop. It is required viewing. It is required viewing. Yes, it's also covered in the, it is covered in the, here comes 700s. Futures Fanatic Foundation Course. The course.
Order filled.
There we go. All right. How much are they going to scare us? They might scare us a lot. Could scare us a lot. Lots of scaringness. Lots of scaringness.
Stop filled.
See, now I have to buy another low again. 690s. 700s got violated by 7 points. It'd be hard to be more careful than I'm being on these accounts over here because we don't need to. Let's see. Did we get a fill on our 14/8s? Ooh, the machine's running a little slow here. Yes, we have a 2-lot. Brought our price up to 83. All right, quick. If we do 84 on a 2-lot, what's our credit? What's our credit? What's our credit on 84 on a 2-lot? We're 100 points in the money, right? Well, it's 168 times 2. So what's that? 300 something.
Order filled.
But man, this thing, look, nope, now we got another fill here. Yeah, they're puking on this Friday. They're like, let's puke this out. We'll puke all the weak hands out. And now another new low.
Stop filled.
We could do this all day. See, the thing is that this is still kind of picking up pennies in front of a steamroller, but not terrible. Because we're finally at 199. So we have another 40 points just to put in a range for the session. We're going to get a fill here at 60. At 60, since I'm working the NASDAQ too, I'm going to move this down. Move it down. Look at the ZN up near the top high of the range. So as usual, I am completely wrong. My lovely theory, and it was just a theory, was we would see some relief when the ZN is back above 106. Since I sang Saturday Night Fever, or just since Saturday Night Fever was a pop cultural rave? All right, we got 2 more minutes left. Get your questions in if you have them. All that matters is that we got the ZN above 106. Today, the NASDAQ did not give a fuck. NASDAQ didn't give a fuck. They're like, I don't care what's happening with the 10-year. Look at that 10-year coming a little bit. Oh, my goodness. You are not going to see this very often. This is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 bar. How many days is that? Those are 4-hour bars. So there's 6. That's a 2.5 day extreme turn sell. So someone was saying earlier, how do you know? You don't always know, but this would be an example of when not to be long the ZN. And now finally on this candle, a little bit of a relief valve. You guys know how good I did with this one, right? Let's look at my arrow. My arrow's pointing. I don't need what happened. There we go. My arrow's pointing down here. When we broke the 55, I was like, all right, here we go. Come on. Little pop and then we'll drop. Nope. I'm the worst ever. I'm the best ever at being the worst ever. All right, there's 8 o'clock. What else happened today? Nothing else. Any questions on YouTube or any other questions? So if you're just showing up on YouTube, the plan was to pass some of these prop programs, and it's not looking too good. We're up $1.59 over here. So yeah, look to buy. Now I need the new low by even more, like 6 ticks or a little more than that, 12 ticks. Yeah, you've had some nice run on the short side. I could technically now short this NASDAQ, but I'm not going to. I need a little bit of a bigger pop in order to get short there. All right, everybody. This is actually going to be a pretty good learning session here. So go back and watch this replay. I'll leave you right here with I am short to MNQ 14,800 puts at I guess about 80. Let's call it 84. So I'll be having some of them if we stay deep in the money here. But 100 points on the NASDAQ's nothing. Nothing. Nothing, honey. Go Dow. One other thing is today definitely rang true in terms of hanging out on the Dow, right? Yeah, sure, it broke. It broke a little bit, but it gave you a little two-way action for a few rotations before we fell. I don't care a whole lot about S1, but it's down there at a pivot level. It's an outside day down, which tends to be a little bit easier to manage, and you got a lot of separation from the T line. What's a lot? I don't know. What? Let's just measure this. Ruler. 400. So that's a full ATR, right? Yeah. So we're full ATR separation from the T line. So it's all good in the hood. You want the Dow to go down? What do you want to go down? We don't want anything to go down. Shorts have had their fair share over the last. What I would like is the NASDAQ to put in a full range. So we do need another like maybe 40 or 50 points to the downside to get full range in NASDAQ, and then see if we can if we end up having 120, 130% day, which can happen. All right, did good if you controlled your risk budget today. If you added only at the right levels. Remember when we did an add at 730? That hasn't worked out too well, but I'll do a graceful exit if it gets back. 730 is now up here, back into the zone. How do I measure the range? ATR is what? That's ATR is everything. So again, go back and watch the workshop. You'll understand that our ATRs are everything. They instruct and drive everything we do. If you want to have a static stop, at least make it dynamic. Make it 15 or 20% ATR. Do everything based on what the 7-day ATR is over a 23-hour period. In other words, what the expected range should be for that instrument. Yeah, so make sure you get those concepts down, gang. It's the most important thing I talk about. So 80% of price action for the S&P, I don't know about the NASDAQ, but let's just say for the S&P will take place between 2 standard deviations during the cash session. Right now, you're looking at a NASDAQ that's been outside the zone for, I don't know, when did it get outside? A while ago, right? So it got back up. Now it's been outside for a while. Right here. So for the last 40, 50 minutes. So that's a little unusual, but it's not that unusual given the fact that we didn't have much range overnight relative to what we've been seeing in the normal session, right? Yeah, and you can get this workspace over here. You guys can pick it up for yourself. Get you some of that workspace for yourself. All right, ended up being clickbait. I'm not going to pass these today. Go frickin' ZN, baby. We're for right now, I ain't going to get assigned another 10 of those things. I can't handle another 10. I don't want another 10. So, can someone tell that I'm short the 106? Short 106 today. All right, that will be it for today. Have a great weekend. I think I'm going to sleep most of it. So one thing I don't do when I feel crappy is I don't go play in my poker game, because if you ever want to get smacked down, go try to play high-stakes poker when you don't feel good. That I can't do. All right. See everybody. I'm going to shut it down on YouTube first. Just kind of close this.